Let me go over something. I forgot to mention this sensor, the second sensor, which is a KY018. And this is called a photoresistor. The way that this works is whenever light hits this mechanism, what it does is it creates or increases its resistive network, and that increase in that resistive network causes the voltage to flow on the S lead. And if you recall, the S lead is critical to the Darlington transistor, and that's what kicks off the whole event of a 0 or 1 state that's read in Rockwell. So with that, we're able to use, and let's say for example you have different areas on your layout, you're able to take this module, place it in that area, and then get a value for, let's say for example, the light value. And you want to make sure that those values are within the threshold to trigger an event or to clear an event, meaning that the sensor's on or off. And that's kind of what this whole exercise is about in the use of this meter. And if we're lucky, we won't have to use the meter, but if we do, at least we're going to have values and be able to dial the sensor in. So with that said, let's get on with the flashing. So now going back to the PC, we can pull up the sketch here, and what I'll do is I'll put the sketch in the description, that way you guys can just copy and paste it in. Let's put the connect the module up there. It's into the switch, or not the switch but the computer. Now we'll just put that there, and let's compile the sketch. And now we're writing the sketch. So a little bit on the sketch, I'll put the link to where the actual website is, and the two guys that put the information up, I think one of them is in GitHub. But I made some modifications here. I added the voltage readings to be printed out, and then also the voltage level change. I made modifications there, and then also to the Serial.begin and the baud rate. I increased the baud rate from 9600 up to the 100 and what is it, the 115.2 K baud rate, and I did that so we're able to use this module within Rockwell. So if you look here, you can see that the voltage change. Also, I have it scanning every 1 second. Here it's got the delay, and then it runs the cycles back through. And now with this, it shows that it's operational, but let's swing over to Rockwell. So we can disconnect this, close this out. Here we can go to Rockwell and go back into the maintenance. We can do a scan, and we can connect to COM port 18. And when we connect to COM port 18, you can see that the voltage reading is now showing on the screen itself. So if we move this back and then connect in the lead here, and now the module's off the screen, but we're concerned with this sensor. So as you look on Rockwell in the COM port, you can see that when I place my hand over the sensor, that the voltage goes up to 3.3 volts, and that's what's going to trigger the Darlington transistor. And then when I move it away, then the light causes it to. Now revert or go back towards 0 volts, but in this case it's like a half a volt, and that half a volt will not trigger the Darlington transistor. So this pretty much closes up everything. It shows you how to set up the meter, what I did to kind of put things together, and then what the intent or the purpose of this module or unit. So with that said, I'll close up or end this video, and now my next step, but it's going to be maybe a week out, is I'm going to start creating the modules. So with the modules, I'm going to put the sensor, and I think in one of the tests you saw it. Here, I'll move this out of the way. And now here's a sensor with here's a piece of track with this module embedded in it. And now you can see that hole looks kind of gaudy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make or create a little lens, a plastic lens that will fit in between the ties, and hopefully that I can get that sensor and the it's like a clear sensor, and get it to transmit the light onto this photoresistor, and that way it's just a little bit of, you see a little bit of plastic lens here, and then it goes and it causes the light to refract into that area. So that's what the intent is, but that's going to be maybe a week or so before I can get into that. So with that said, now you guys can like, subscribe, and share, and we'll talk to you guys then. Bye.